My God, I didn't sure wasn't sure it was gonna come in, but hey, how you doing? Um, if anybody's here, feel free to jump in. So today is me jumping back again to May 12th, which was Manifesting Monday. And I'm gonna talk about the Master Manifestor Bundle. So it's 3 whole classes, and to get all 3 together for, yes, 3, 6, I said 12, interesting. Anyways, we're gonna go to here. So the moment you decide, reality bends. Now, the topics we're going to talk about today, last class was I am the operant power. So, powerful on that one is knowing that you have control of yourself and of the things that you want to create. I've had my moments of panic we're talking about. So, I would say the thing I did based on Sunday's class, I just calmed myself down because my income is a little low right now. And you know what? Something did kind of throw me off, but then quite a few things came through and I managed to get what I needed. I hear my stomach growling now. I guess I'm hungry again, but we'll work on that. I would love to see you join my classes. This would be great. You're helping an entrepreneur here, Renaissance millionaire woman, to help you make you a millionaire if you want to be, or a thousandaire, a 100,000aire, etc. To get you up from where you are as we build up together. A lot of these techniques have worked for me, so we'll build up and we'll get there. And we're getting there. And I know you can do it. And I would love to help you get there. You're going to do it, but I have techniques that are working beautifully for me. They got me out of a deep depression to let you know. There's things that happen in life that are rough, happy, and they will continue to happen as long as we live in Caesar's world. So keep that in mind because you can do it. I know you can. You don't wait for the sign. You are the sign. The sign is you're still here, and you're going through, and you know what? You're going to make it. You're going to make it. We are all going to make it. It's amazing how fast things can shift once you decide. Decision making is a very good program too. I use this. And I decided that this month of May, as slow as I am at it, I was going to do something daily. I do something daily. I am not getting on as quickly as I'd like, but I do something daily and I do prepare for these, even if I don't get on till a few days late. Working on that, because today is Saturday, and because it's already crossed midnight. And what we're on Saturday? Oh yes, we're on the 12th, and I have decided that I'm going to go until the whole month of May. I'm going to try to do something daily. I'm going to try to post something daily too, or at least do a live daily if I can and get myself caught up. But we're getting there. And it's not the 12th, it's the 17th. Yeah. Technically speaking, it's the 17th. I'm doing right now the 12th, which was a manifesting Monday, but more coming. More is coming. And I'm going to get you there. Itchy, itchy. And we're going to get rain again. Let me tell you a real life story and how fast it happens. Well, I kind of gave you one. There was a time, like I said, you've heard me talk about this. I was really broke, really broke. Well, even not really broke, but needed some income to pay off bills, etc. And I told you I had received out of, suddenly my Uncle Sam did pass away, sadly. And a few months later, I found out that I was getting an inheritance that was left to my father who had passed away years before. So, being that I was his only child, I would receive his share of the inheritance. And when I got that check for $17,000, took a day when you get the check, all my bills got paid. I paid off a student loan. It was a low one, obviously. Gave my mother money because certainly, she if she hadn't been remarried, she would have gotten part of that inheritance. So I made sure she got some. And I booked my very first and wonderful trip to England because I knew I wanted to do that because I again kept it under. I had that money. It went through it's like a year's salary. So it took me about a year, and it and I was still working, so it was replacing itself. Money, can replace itself. It can double, it can triple, it can quadruple, and that was an amazing thing, but it took a day for the once the check arrived. It didn't necessarily take a day to manifest it, but there are times that it does. Just keep that in mind. And there are times that, well, even the small things, like you wanna hear from somebody, and you'll go, and I love this exercise, as I told you yesterday. I know for a fact that my best friend is going to call me today. I know for a fact my best friend's gonna call me. I know for a fact I have $100 in the bank. I know for a fact. And doing that exercise or other versions of it, it doesn't have to be those exact words, but just knowing it's happened in a day. I've had a deposit actually a couple weeks ago, and it was something I was not expecting. I just said, "Yeah, I was thinking that, $100 right now would just really be well." And suddenly somebody deposited $100, a friend, but I didn't expect it. I certainly didn't ask at that point. It was just deposited. Somebody knew I needed it, so they deposited it right in. Um, oh, we've got to get out of the hoping. Because I say, "I hope somebody sends me $100, that would be nice. Sends me $100, that would be nice." But I have to know that somebody sent me 100. I have to know that there are wonderful people out there like you who really want to learn, not even just learn, just want to practice and be with somebody who's been through it and who's going through it. We're all going through it because we're going through life. But I've built these techniques. I have these techniques. I've lived it. And I've lived through deep depression, and I've lived through some major outcomes of that, and it's great. It worked out to the point that some of you are going there. I'm not saying because I'm not a psychologist or a therapist, but a lot of times coaching is what you need. It is the mental diet, the mindset. And from the bits of therapy I've had here and there, the best the best has been what I've learned and lived through all these years and done very well that has gotten me through in the best way possible. Learning to catch myself. Certainly these techniques are used in some forms of psychology because I have studied a little psychology, but I'm not a psychologist for definitely. Even my college career, I studied, but you learn quite a bit of psychology as an actor. Let me give you that one because you have to study the reason a character would do something, and some of the teachers who were incredible through the years and still are. I'm also an incredible acting teacher. You know the reason. It's your when you're doing method acting, of course. You can just act and pretend if you want, but this is not pretend. This is a decision. It's not hoping, it's knowing. Knowing you're an actor, knowing you're good at it, knowing your power. That's the important thing. Jump from hoping, say, I hope I get it, to say, I know I got it. I know I have it. People say, but then what if it doesn't happen? Then something bigger and better is just being prepared because you know you have something that I heard this said on a show, and it was very good. What is your Broadway show? Let's say your dream is to be on Broadway. But in the long run, when you start learning more about your mindset, is that what you want, or is it what a Broadway show means to you? What does it mean to be on Broadway? Yes, I plan on being on Broadway, by the way. I am on Broadway. I did make it as an usher, but I'm going to be on Broadway on the stage, acting and singing. I don't think I'd be dancing. Although it'd be kind of nice to do it again, but I don't think my body will do that anymore. That's a whole different thing. But what is your Broadway show? Even if it's not a Broadway show. If it's a film, you want to star in a film. Again, and I ask people this, especially in my acting classes, which are coming soon, to talk more about those. My lives are coming up to that. In fact, I think the next one is about my actors bundle. But the question would be, some people say, I want to be famous. What do you want to be famous for? And I will say that too, especially actors who say, I just want to be famous. Well, what does fame mean to you? Does it mean what? Everybody will love you? By the way, it does not, but that's okay. So you're seeking to be loved by everyone or adored by everyone. So I can tell you how to achieve that immediately. We all can. But I'll tell you, one of the best ways to immediately be loved by everyone is do good in the world. And even if everybody doesn't love you, because there's always somebody who's gonna say something, it's still you have to accept it for yourself, and the number one thing is to know that you are love. If God is within you, which God is, because you have the God within, you are God of your own life. What does God represent? And let's go back there. God represents unconditional love. So you can't be anything but what you are, which is you can only be love. You are love. You are unconditional love. You just are. You're in a meat suit with organs and stuff, but you're still your love. So remember that. Let go and let God. Often said, let go and let God. Because if you let go of all the things that make you, I have to be known, I have to be loved by everybody, which is a myth, anyways. But said that, it's not that myth. It's just some people have different ideas in their head. Because if you were truly, you can love everyone because that's unconditional. And once you know who you are and you are God within, then yeah, it's unconditional love for just them being part of this world, part of your world. Because everybody you see, know, or hear, or feel is something you've created in your world. So that's what I talk about fame. If you want fame, or and what does fame represent to you, or a Broadway show, or whatever, however you're putting it, what does the thing represent to you? So that's a technique to look into to get deeper on what you want. Nothing wrong with what you want. And if in the end it's I want fame because, oh, clout, you can reach more people. Well, there are many ways to become famous. It doesn't have to be through acting, and maybe you don't want it that way. If you want to be famous, invent the cure for cancer, all cancers. That would make you very famous, and everybody would love you, by the way. I would assume that everybody would love you. I mean, we love everybody a lot more when it's something wonderful for humanity. And some of you who love animals, you save animals. Yeah, you're a loving person. Now, they may not like your personality all the time, but that's ego, edging God out. EGO, edging God out, as Dr. Wayne Dyer said. Don't edge God out. If you're all loving, you are, and you are love. I was going to say you're full of it. You're full of love. You are unconditional love. So keep that. Don't wait for the sign. You are the sign. And I'm looking at this, so hoping to knowing. And then we're going to go to the next one. Now, the Master Manifester bundle is my final and fiercest energy for the treasure bundle. It's not even the bundle. The bundle, all of the classes put together, there are 9, would be the treasure. Okay. And then there are the 3 sections, as I told you. So this is the third and final of the trilogy. The energy is bold, embodied, and unapologetic. If you ever wanted to truly live in the law, absolutely. And this is where you will learn the law. This is the time so you can get to the promise. And the law and the promise are yours. So for the full bundle, Master Manifester bundle, which is in my description here, you can click on that and get it for $147. If you want 2 bundles together of all 3 of my bundles, and I will put up one for this one, and I'll have to put up a couple actually. I already have one up there if you wanted the Wealth and Worth and the Renaissance Revision bundles, which were the first 2. That would be $277, but this bundle with one of the others would also be $277. You could always click on that. If you want it different, you could write me until I set it up so you can set up the 2 you want if you want to. Now you want all 3 bundles, 12 the 9 classes in total. We're going to do it for $427. $427. And that should be it's already set up. And that's the one that's in right now in here. Well, that's not for all of them. No, it's just for the one. For this bundle, for the Master Manifester setup right now, and that would be $147. And then I will be setting up one for all 9 classes for $427, which is the best price you're going to get. You can buy them separately, as I've said before. They'll all be up there at $57 each if you want to pick and choose between it. I'm going to try to work out something where you can pick and choose. Well, actually, you can several different bundles and I will invoice you. So let's say that you wanted one from the first bundle, you wanted one, and you want two from this bundle, and you want the 147. Definitely, that's fine. Just tell me the classes, send me an email, angelara28 at yahoo.com, say mixed bundle, and I'll send you an invoice for the 147, but you're mixing bundles because the other ones will just be set up for certain bundles. And so I can send you an invoice writing down the bundles you want or what you wanted. If you want one from each bundle, but you want the 147 thing. Again, 3 classes is going to be 147 if you buy them together. But if they're not in one bundle, then send me a note and tell me one from each and which ones they are. Because I mean, I could pick for you if that's what you want. There is a way to do that because I could intuitively. I am a psychic medium and intuitive. So I can intuitively tell you what you need, but I might ask you a few questions first to figure it out, just to make sure I got you. And you can check that out. It is, like I said, 57 per class if purchased individually, 427 for all 3 bundles, and 277 for 2 bundles together, 147 for the bundle straight up, which we said. Now, the mixed bundle, you would have to contact me and tell me what it is. It would also be 147 if there's 3 classes in it. And if you want 6 classes, but mixed all around, and it's not a full bundle on, I mean, it could be 1, 2, 3, like 2 from each bundle. If you just wanted 2 classes from each bundle, you would still get the price you would get when you buy 6 classes. Again, you just have to write me and tell me what they are if you want to leave one out of each one of them. Um, or just buy the bundles. All 3 is good. 427, you're going to save money. So we got all that, and I just want to make sure I covered everything today. And to say, now at May 31st, I may cut all of these off, at least at these prices. It would probably go up because I do need to keep it going, and there are people, who want to do this. I also have a size on most of the classes. Sometimes there's only a couple spots left because I don't want the classes to be too gigantic, but enough that we can all get things done in the time. So probably going to cut off most of them at no more than 10 each class. Each class, literally. There are possibly, if I get a lot of people who want to be in them and you pay for them and all that, and there's a lot more, then I will split I'll do them different days or different times of the day. Like, do class 1 of the bundle on the same day, but split it up into smaller classes. Perhaps if I have 15 people, I can split them up into kind of 6, 7, that kind of thing. If I have 20, I'll split you up into 10, 10, etc. I will try to get everybody in if you want to be, and we'll play that by ear and see how it goes. But hey, if you're signing up, sign up, because I'm not going to turn you away. Just saying, keeping the class size and the day and the time, also based on schedules, etc., because I am flexible on that. Although at some point I'm going to try to do most of the classes on Thursday evening, give or take, early evening to later evening. If you have a preferred time of day or preferred days, you can let me know. You can send me a thing. Once you pay for the class, just send me a note. You certainly will, I'll certainly get in touch with you, of course, and we'll start working on that. So we're stepping into summer with the next level energy, and this offer won't return in this form, as I said. So I'm encouraging you to take the action now, not someday, because this is probably the best price you're going to get for it. So go for it, man. Go for it. You're not here to dabble in your power. You're here to embody it. Let today be the day you act like the operant power, and DM me with any questions or come here, because I'm going to try to keep coming back with some kind of live. I'm aiming to catch it up. Not sure I will, but at least in the month of May, because the month of May is when I said I would do something daily. Back when it comes to June, it'll be a little different. So we'll go from there. And again, just everything's in the email or somewhere where you can get a hold of me, and I would love to chat with you again soon, and I will. Bye-bye, man. I hope I'm enlightening you and you are understanding who you really are, and that lightens the burden. And laughter. Always laugh. Keep on laughing because laughing cures everything, at least being happy about it, you know? There you go. And we'll talk more.